Hello and welcome! We are playing a sky full of stars, Lynx here. And yes, this is our second approach. We've already covered one of the routes. And that means we will be skipping the parts we've seen. So if you refresh to this on my channel, just check out the whole playlist. Or just jump in from now on. For, as I said, we'll not be watching the things that we've seen. That's what visual novels allow us to do. So let us begin. On to the second route. I imagine we'll actually be able to keep quiet a lot. That's usually how it is. And as much as in some games I could just let you see while I'm skipping, I don't think we'll be keeping it like that in here, because it's a lengthy game, let's face it. So we'll just jump to where it matters, sort of. Which I imagine we'll skip quite a lot in the very beginning. I literally don't know how Streamlabs turn off recording. Anyway, we are at the choice point. We skipped quite a lot. Choice that is asking of us to give the love letter back to Hikari. The love letter we were given 4 years ago, and that we never even opened, and so on. This time around we are going to give it back. A part of me didn't want to give it to her. Yeah, I didn't do it in our first approach to the game, that's true. I still hadn't read the letter, but whatever was inside must be important. Something Hikari really wanted to tell me 4 years ago. Well, we know. Letting go would be like losing whatever feelings she had for me back then. Again, I don't care. Like, who cares, honestly? Like, Amanogama's opinion doesn't matter anyway. You can throw it to her right here, right now, to be honest. Anyway, ugh. There was something I wanted to avoid at all costs, which is not true, we didn't care. Okay, fine, you can have it. I step back into my room. Just forgot something. After digging through my stuff next to Amanagawa and Orihime, I finally pulled out that book. I opened the page in "Wow! Look! A beginner's guide to astronomy!" Wedged inside was the letter. I held out her hand for it. Not so fast! Delete those messages first. Not like it matters. It felt like a hostage negotiation scene from a movie. Hikari took out the phone and deleted the entire log of messages between me and Komako. Don't look so disappointed. Sure, memories of me embarrassing myself. Here. I handed her the letter. The band sticker holding the envelope closed was still as intact, the same as it had been 4 years ago. Maybe we should read it now. Together. Hikari shoved the letter into her pocket before I had the chance to change my mind. Orihime opened the door and peeked through. Oh no, nothing. Hikari rushed off towards the sink. Who, me? No way! Don't worry about me, Orihime. Besides, aren't you getting tired of coming over to help out every day? You don't have to push yourself too hard. That's right, Hikari wouldn't be the only one leaving the Six Stars Club. Orihime would be graduating in March, then she'd be gone too. That's the approach. Orihime gave a mischievous smile full of resolve. If all went well with the Dobsodian telescope, it will probably be used for years to come. No wonder she's putting her blood and sweat into the primary mirror. It's the heart of the whole project. Sorry, I shouldn't have said anything. It's good to have you on board. Orihime may have been 2 years older than me, but the innocent way she smiled always made her look like a sweet girl. She's not little though, which is fine. No to lollies. No to lollies. Lollies never. We actually have seen this scene in our first approach to the game, so we'll skip now. Next scene that we will see for is a scene that I started recording, and like 3 lines into it I realized that Streamlabs is like, oh, I turned off the recording. Anyway, now we're here. No, it's not here yet. Now we are at this place. Let's go like that and like that. Now we are at the correct place. A little bit of a throwback to the past. It was right at the start of the 6th grade winter break. Takeichi and Korona were arguing out in front of Saotome. Takeichi's fist came down to Korona's head. Takeichi stood in front of his crying sister looking frustrated. Now we can do this, just in case. Hey, Korona, are you okay? Wait, we read this? What? No, we didn't. She turned to me, her sad expression gone as she ran over to me. Looking at her, you wouldn't believe she'd just been bawling her eyes out moments ago. She was always quick to cry, but quick to perk back up too. Being mean. How could he? I looked over to Takeichi, his face still cross. I don't know. Maybe I would have a different thinking if I had siblings and so on, but I would not complain. Anyway, boys our age seem to get into a lot of dangerous situations. And with Takeichi as the head of the local ruffians, he loved doing everything the adults told him not to. Why don't you just do something Korona can do too? Oh, wait, we are at this time. Oh, wait, so this changed it to the past. Interesting. Anyway. With an air of indifference towards us, he tore into a crunchy chocolate bar he'd just bought. Oh, no, it didn't change. It's something. Whatever. Or maybe it will change. He took the cards and tossed the chocolate at Korona. And with that, he just ran off, leaving his sister behind. Nah, I never said I was gonna hang out with him anyway. Hell yeah!
遊んでくれるならこのチョコあげる。
Nah, you can have it.
でも出ないとアキ兄もコロナと遊んでくんないでしょ。
Hmm? That's not true.
やっぱりアキ兄ってば優しい。うちのお兄ちゃんとは全然違うよ。
Takeichi was trying to look out for his sister by not getting her into anything dangerous. That's kind of true too. Although it seems he did it because he didn't want to make his parents mad. Well...
アキ兄は買わないの？パックリマンチョコ。
Of course I am. I went and bought a crunchy chocolate bar from the old lady at Sandom and opened it up.
何出た？
A charm. Home run boost.
わっ、いいな、当たりだ。
Is it? Time after time, Takeichi would leave Korona behind and the two of us would hang out like this. Nice! But our age gap was pretty big. No, it wasn't. It was like a year! Come on! So it never really grew into anything more than that. It was literally 1 year, by the way. What the Still though, she always thought of me as a nice older brother sort of figure. It was literally a year, by the way. Give me a second. Okay, it's fine, we are safe.
やっぱし可愛いのがいいよね。
Korona was seated at a cafe space at the convenience store with a bunch of pamphlets spread out in front of her. I peeked and saw that they were for cell phone providers. They were covered with colorful cell phones, all competing to catch your attention with this or the new future.
ねえねえ、アキ兄、ちょっといい？確かスマホだったよね。どんなの使ってるかコロナに見せて。
I want to get a matching one or something. Anyway, sure, here. I pulled my cell phone out of my apron, pocket and handed it over to her.
なるほど、アキ兄のはこういうのか。普通だけど、なんかかっこいいね。
It was just the cheapest one they had.
いいじゃん、それでも似合ってるんだし。
It was probably the first time I'd ever heard of a phone suiting someone. Now that you mentioned it, I probably Anyway, are you planning on getting a phone or something? As far as I knew, she didn't even have a flip phone, let alone a smartphone. Honestly, I never had a flip phone. Flip phone. I never had a flipping phone. Don't know why. I had, well, the usual bricks of the old times. I had a phone, a slider, yes, which you could basically, you know, slide up and then you will get the full keyboard. Actually, not a full keyboard, like the usual T9, whatever, the classic keyboard. Actually, sliding with an actual full keyboard as well. Yeah, that's it. I never had a flip phone. I bet she came all the way out here to talk to me about it, even though this place is pretty far from her house.
今交渉中なんだ。クリスマスに買ってもらおうと思ってるの。
Nice. On the other hand, you know what? Wait, we are first year high school, she's middle school. If Japan works the same as Poland, so she's basically 15. I would have a phone by that time. Honestly, for probably a good thing getting your kid to a phone late now. I feel like it is. Anywho.
みんなと連絡取ろうと思ったら、やっぱし必要だもんね。実はこの前姫ちゃんに連絡先聞かれちゃって。
Hime? Who was that? Since when was there someone like that around us?
あのおっぱいの大きい綺麗なお姉さんだよ。
Oh, Hime. Okay. That was pretty easy to figure out once you thought about it. But I wondered why Korona called her Hime in the first place.
姫ちゃんって呼ん んだら喜んでくれたんだよ。これからもぜひそう呼んでくださいねって。
That sounds like Orihime for you. She was probably happy to have a younger girl calling her by some cute nickname.
でもやっぱり失礼かな。先輩ってつけた方がいい
？Nah. She said so herself that she liked it, right?
だよね。
She smiled and nodded, her face covered in an excited smile. I was sure she liked the nickname just much as Orihime did.
姫ちゃんは姫ちゃんだもんね。これからもじゃんじゃん姫ちゃんって呼ぶことにする。
Orihime would be sure to get a kick out of it too. The both of them would be pleased. She went back to mulling over the pamphlets. I decided to give her some advice. We cleaned up the coffee server.
違いがさっぱりわかんない。
I mean, to be quite honest, I understand, sort of. I know, in the very beginning, obviously, it didn't matter. When I basically... when I was younger, I wasn't kind of the one choosing the phones, I would say. Or maybe I was, sort of. I was like, hey, which one could we get? Okay, but is it like... one, you know, is it like, are we getting this free? Or is it like super cheap or whatever? Basically, I don't know. Since I was young, I was the kind of person that didn't like to spend money already. And even more so, I did not want my parents to spend money on me, which is funny. But yeah, I would always go after whatever cheapest option was there when I was a kid still. But at the same time, something that I would like actually to use and so on. Funny enough. I feel like the only thing that I kind of... that I would kind of, at the time at least, allow my parents to spend money on me would be football gear when I still played. And that's about it. And now that I think about it, I did go with changing the phone now, this year. Because, well, first of all, on the one I was using, a damn button that is responsible for turning on and off the phone broke. And by that I mean it literally fell off. Which is kind of funny. The second thing, the screen became kind of unresponsive. Sure, I kind of walked around this with actually starting using the fingerprint to unlock the screen and so on, but it was still a pain. And it actually became slower as well. I mean, I've been using it for over 3 years, I think, so it's fine. It will serve as something different. Now that I think about it, I actually have 3 old phones, which I kind of found a different usage for. One of them I'll be keeping in the car, that's for sure, for music and so on. Like the old Nokia with Windows. One of them might serve as a second webcam. I actually have been testing it through the talks, through the calls and so on. It works fine, so yeah. I'll still have a look at the recordings and so on. Maybe streams. Anyway, yes, choosing a phone voice is a hard thing. I was choosing the one I purchased this year for like 2 or 3 months. Which is funny. Anyway, I also was waiting for the discounts. If that's the case, why not just pick one you think looks nice? Honestly, I always look at the specs first, but right now it's, I guess, my thing, kind of. I mean, she might not know a lot. I will teach her. Kind of.
それも そうなんだけどね。
It looked like she'd cut it down to just a couple of options. Okay, if there are a couple of options of the ones you like, I don't know, the way they look or whatever, it's good. Then you look at the specs. I would say it's easier. Anyway, she had little tags sticking out to mark the phones she liked.
アキ兄はこっちとこっちどっちがいい？
Show me. One was a popular model from Company A. And the other, a slightly older model from Company S. Company S. I'm going S. If you're going for price, then the S1. If you want more features for, then A, probably. Not really true. Whatever. We know what those companies stand for, okay? I had... What did I have? I have the first generation music player from the Company A. The one that was, you know, already like, almost like a smartphone, but it was literally just a music player. Well, you could install games and so on, but still, you couldn't color anything, right? It was a good thing for. I like doing it, using it. It really did lack the possibility to do anything on it, to be honest. For you don't have the freedom of using it, kind of, with the Company A. Anyway.
ってことは、アキ兄なら A 社だ。
No, actually no. Not quite, I'd go for the S, yeah. I'm sure that she was aware of my constant lack of funds. Anyway, no matter which one you pick, you should still be able to use chat apps. You should trust your instincts.
そうだね。じゃあ直感で選んでみる。
And with that, she went back to staring at the catalog. She seems really serious about this whole thing.
そうだ、アキ兄。
She said as she just recalled something.
絶対スマホ買ってもらえるように頑張るから。そしたら通話アプリの ID 教えてね。
Sure, no problem. For Korona, getting her first smartphone was probably a big step in becoming part of a group. She'd always been like this, really. Speaking of, what do you do when Yorihime asks for your number?
一応家電の番号を教えておいたよ。でも家に電話しにくかったらアキ兄に連絡してって。
Me? Wait, me? Not Take?
姫ちゃんがお兄ちゃんに連絡するのなんか嫌だし。あんなおっぱいの美人さん、お兄ちゃんにはもったいないよ。
No, that was something I couldn't argue with. She's great, man. She's great.
よっいしょっと。
Did we see that? No, we did not. Orihime moved a heavy-looking box to the edge of the platform. Wait. Change colors of red messages. No. Today, all available Six Stars Club members had gathered to help clean up our secret observatory. Have I really not seen that? We were getting rid of a lot of stuff, along with sweeping, wiping and making the place nice and clean. Change, yes. I really did not read that. Interesting. Because we did the cleaning. Anyway, once that was done, we're going to bring in blankets and cushions, paper cups, plastic dinnerware and other tableware. We're doing all we could do to make this place nice and cozy. It was all in preparation for our big event.
いざ始めてみると結構な量があるわね。
She wiped her sweat with a handkerchief. It looked like she was a bit out of breath. You can just leave the heavy lifting to me, you know. I tried to subtly hint that she didn't need to work so hard.
平気よ。これ式の荷物。
She tried to flex, but it was hard to make anything out through her coat.
おお、姫ちゃんプニプニだいきなり揉まないでください。
Korona had snuck up behind her and grabbed her upper arms.
会話だけ聞くとなんかエッチいわね。
Definitely. Hikari and I just nodded at each other.
外に出したものは全部処分しても OK でしょうか。
Yeah, I've just been sitting here for years now. Anyway.
この箱はこちらに置いても平気ですか？
Here, I'll stack them up. The way Noriko was holding it, I thought it would be super heavy, but it really wasn't that bad. Now that I thought about it, I was the only guy here in this whole group.
こっちのやつ捨てちゃっていいか確認してくれる？
She wanted me to make sure. All the stuff we'd gathered up here was once our secret treasure, but now that we'd all grown up, it was just a bunch of junk. Most of it was just random stuff Hikari had brought in, but there was some of my and Amanogawa's stuff too.
こんなにいっぱい集めたんだね。
The boxes were filled with all sorts of random stuff. This definitely wasn't done by the methodical Amanogawa. This was all Hikari. Oh wow! Remember this? I'd forgotten about all this stuff, but one look was enough to bring the memories back.
見てよ。クッキー缶にクヌギのどんぐりばっかり大量に入ってる。
Those are sawtooth acorns. They are super cool.
オニヤンマには負けるよ。
I couldn't argue with that, yeah. They could even take down giant hornets, so we had always admired how fierce they were.
見てこれ。アキトがサヤにあげた石だ。わあ、懐かしいね。水切りが上手にできる石だっけ？
Yeah, but you tucked it away forever instead.
だっていい形してたんだもん。
Amanogawa smiled and tucked the stone away. Now then, what else we have here? What is this? The box was just full of some brown something or other.
松ぼっくりだよね。
Ew. An entire box filled with pine cones. Who collected all of them? This was definitely Hikari, I thought to myself as my eyes followed after her.
私じゃないってば。さすがにこれは違うし。
Okay, no matter how many you collected, aren't gonna transform into sea urchins, you know?
当たり前じゃない。私をバカにしてんの？
No, I mean, did you say something like that once? It was something like pine cones are the urchins of the mountains, and one day they'll grow and make their way back to the sea. That was Amanogawa for sure. Who believed that? Someone had made a joke like that back when we were kids. Maybe it was Takechi, or was it someone else? And we know who's the dumbass.
それ、私の。
Amanogawa held her hand up with an embarrassed look on her face.
この松ぼっくり、さやが集めたの？ごめんね、よくわかんないことして。
Yeah, you are.
集めた理由、わかんないの？
Probably because of what we just talked about. Let me guess! Sea urchins! We had a winner.
おかしいよね。松ぼっくりはウニじゃないのに。
No, you are bonkers in general.
いたいけなさやを一体誰が騙したの？光だよ。
So it was you. So the legend of the mountain urchins really was another of Hikari's crazy ideas then. But who the fuck would believe? How stupid do you have to believe that?
全く記憶にございません。でも、深く謝罪いたします。
Honestly, you had nothing to apologize or anything, whatever. Hikari gave a deep bow towards Amanogawa. Her twin panties shook as she did so.
許 許してくれる？うん、許す。さやー、好きだー。私も大好きだよ、光。
Malgawa warmly accepted a hug from Hikari. They were just as close as ever. They'd had a couple years apart, but seeing them here and now, it was like that had never happened.
それでこのウニじゃなかった松ぼっくりはどうする？
Throw them away, obviously. Come on.
アキト君にあげる。
No thanks. I'm good.
さやのプレゼントだよ。たとえ泥団子だって美味しく食べなきゃいけないのに。
Oh, give me a break already.
もうしょうがないな。さすがに捨てるのはもったいないし。
Yes, that's what we should do.
そうだ。いいこと思いついた。
Oh my god, no. She smiled suddenly, like the Hikari known for so long had headed out for the train.
おーい、コロナ。いいものあげるからこっち来なさい。
Why?
いいもの？なになに？いいものって松ぼっくりだよね。
What a jerk!
コロナ来ました。ねえねえ、何くれるの？さやが丹精込めて育てた山のウニよ。ウニ？育てたの？
She wasn't quite the liar Hikari was. Don't fall for that, it's just a bunch of pine cones!
確かに松ぼっくりだ。今は松ぼっくりちゃんだけど、大事に育てたら美味しいウニになるんだよ。さすがに諦めなよ、光。
Amadaga just couldn't watch Hikari try to play this off on her Korona.
もしかしてコロナを騙したの？ひどいよ、ピカリ。ただの松ぼっくりにそんな付加価値つけるなんて。うん、確かに今のはひどいよね。さやー。
Hikari finally realized that she was on her own on this.
ピカリのバカ！犯罪者！犯罪者って。だって詐欺だもん。松ぼっくりはウニじゃないもん。
Nice. Korona angrily grabbed some pine cones from the box.
くらえ！
And then sent them flying at Hikari. She managed to dodge them, but pine cones were flying all over the place.
こーら、やめなさい。やめてたまるか。うわあ。
Korona had begun chasing Hikari.
楽しそうだね。
Really? Are you kidding me? We're supposed to be cleaning, but this was just making a bigger mess. If Orihime were to catch us like this...
何をやってるんですか？
It was Onoka who found us instead. They didn't say anything else but just froze in place and watched me pick up all the pine cones. Sorry, those idiots made a real mess, yeah.
別に構いませんけど。まあまあ、吉岡もそんな顔しないで。
Orihime came walking behind her.
それよりも散らかったものを片付けますわよ。もちろんやってくれますわよね。
The way she spoke left no room for anyone to decline.
すみませんでした。ごめんなさい、姫ちゃん。
Even the two culprits apologized to her. Just like Amanogawa, Orihime was one person you'd... Okay, that's bullshit, by the way. The first part. So let's rephrase it to correct way. Orihime was one person you didn't want to get mad for in an entirely different way.
反省したのなら結構よ。それより回収したこれは箱ごと処分でいいかしら？
Wait, let's save the pine cones.
騙されちゃダメだよ、アキに。松ぼっくりはウニにならないんだから。
Yeah, no kidding, but that's not what I'm talking about. Dry pine cones are great for building fires. If we hang on to them, we can probably use them for our first light event. That's true. Probably. Newspaper would work fine too, but since we already had all of these, we might as well use them. It was always good. Oh yeah, actually that is true. Ah, fuck. I forgot. I used some for... for freaking grilling back in the day, or as you would call it, barbecue, or like a normal fire starter. When you want to do like an actual fire for doing, you know, food and so on, and not on a barbecue or anyway, because I feel like I'm digging my own grave here somehow. It was always good to have an emergency heat source when coming out here at night.
松ぼっくりを焚き付けに全く知りませんでしたわ。
Yeah, it's not something most people probably spend any time thinking about anyway. Only because I'd run to a tight spot where I needed to use them. It was something to brag about.
でも私たちに全く無縁の知識とは言えないわ。それなのに私は知らないことばかりで。
It wasn't really a big deal one way or the other. Well, you'll do fine if you remember from here on out, right?
そうですわね。ムツラ星の会にはきっと必要な知識ですから。
Good to know for the upcoming first light, and from here on out too. The more activities you get involved in, the more everyone will learn.
空見くん、一ついいかしら。
Sure, what is it?
空見くん、あなたはその。
Are you?
いえ、やっぱり何でもありませんわ。
Finish your question, please! It seemed like she wanted to say something, but without more information than that, there wasn't much point in worrying about it. I want you to ask the question!
アキ兄たちの天文クラブはここで活動してたんだ。
Korona seemed to take a keen interest in the old train car. Our little cleanup had already come a long way, and the place didn't bear much resemblance to its older look.
あんた、この前もここに来たじゃないの。あの時は中をちゃんと見る時間なかったから。
Oh, is it like the second day? Here we were again in our little secret hideout. This place had been sacred to us, and we had never let Korona come out here before. We should have. Finally coming out here must have been a pretty emotional event for her.
すごいな。
It's nothing that impressive, really. This place used to seem really cool once upon a time, but these days I didn't see much more than a rusty old train. It was all busted up and dusty, with winds creeping in from every crack and hole. The only thing here worth anything at all would have been our observation journal. Compared to that, everything else was just a bunch of junk.
いいな。なんか羨ましい。
She had probably always wondered why we never let her be part of our group, and even though we were just a year apart. We never had a satisfying answer for her back then, though.
それでどうすんの？
Korona was a bit lost in her thoughts, but here he asked her question anyway.
コロナが決めていいの？私は昔からそう言ってたつもりだけど。
Hikari had never been too easy on Korona. She was always telling her to decide things for herself. And it looked like that was something that hadn't changed.
コロナはやっぱりみんなの仲間に入りたい。
That's why she wanted to get a phone, and so on. Who even knows how she managed to get in touch with Orihime today to come out here and help?
もう遅いかな。
Of course not!
そうそう。
I had never expected we'd be back out at this train again. But here we were again, just like old times. I guess not exactly the same as before, but still, it felt familiar enough.
よーし、それじゃあ。
What's with the rock?
くさかべころなと。
She used the rock to carve her name to the wall of a train. The peeling paint gave way under the rock, showing the metal underneath.
私たちも昔似たようなことしたっけ？
I'm pretty sure we just used markers. We didn't go crazy and carve out the walls.
どこだったかな。もう消えちゃってると思うけ
Even if it was permanent marker, the years probably weathered it away into nothing but a memory. The names we wrote back then would never show themselves on these walls again. Hmm.
待ってください。それでは片手落ちですわ、コロナさん。
That had come from a voice I wasn't expecting to hear.
片手落ちって何か足りなかったかな。不足しているものが一つあります。それは二つ名ですわ。プレアデス七姉妹の末の妹メローペよ。なるほど。そう、私はメローペ。
Korona took the stone in her hand again, but stopped.
どうしました？メローペってカタカナじゃまずいよね。
Not quite the problem I was anticipating. But, you know.
こんなところですわね。
We finished up our cleaning and headed outside. It gets dark out pretty quick this time of the year, so we should probably head back. We'd loaded all the boxes of junk onto the cart we'd brought with us. Now we just had to bring it back down with us.
台車だと坂道が不安ですね。それなら心配には及びませんわ。先ほど車を手配しましたので。
Awesome! Thanks, Orihime!
あと15分もすれば到着するそうです。
15 minutes was nothing compared to how much of a pain it would have been to push the cart the whole way.
お腹すいた。そうだね。何か食べてく？早乙女の豚まんが食べたいな。
She said while looking pleadingly my way. But I was not about to let her fool me like that. Just so you know, I only work part-time, so I can't cover you.
やっぱ私じゃ無理だったか。さや、出番だよ。
That has 0% of chance of success.
アキト君は誘惑すればいいの？
A 100% chance of failure for you.
そうそう。上目遣いでおねだりおねだり。それじゃあ。
Stay away. Denied! It was almost too much to handle. No, it wasn't. I just denied her instantly. Come on.
なんて可愛い。さすが私のさや。いいよいいよ。私が買ってあげる。豚まんでも唐揚げちゃんでもなんでもいいよ。
Looks like Harry gave in before I did, because I wouldn't. I suppose this is what they mean by the hunter becoming the hunted.
私は別にいいよ。
Amanagawa said, somewhat troubled by Hikari's reaction.
まあいいか。私は豚まん買うけど、さやはどうする？
So you had the money. Yeah, how dare you?
豚まんはやめとこうかな。早乙女のは美味しいけど、ちょっと大きすぎるから。
It doesn't look like you will be sharing one with Hikari.
もちろん。私は全部食べられるし。
That was Hikari for you.
なら、私と半分ずつ食べませんか？いいの？私も半分くらいなら食べたいなって思いましたので。
That's so surprising coming from Unoka. What about Orihime? I figured that if she shared with anyone, it would be Orihime, honestly.
会長なら、あっちです。
ん？
いいですか、コロナさん。いえ、末の妹、メローペよ。
Orihime broke into a speech while staring out at the night sky.
メローペとは、プレアデス7姉妹の一人。そのプレアデスの神話はご存知かしら？よく知らない。
Which is understandable.
ならば少しだけ
I don't know as well.
歌って差し上げましょう。プレアデスの7姉妹は巨人アトラスと妖精プレイオーネとの間に生まれました。
Obviously I know Atlas. I don't know who Pleione at all. Not gonna lie. Never heard.
彼女たちはとても仲良しで、 月の女神アルテミスに仕えていたそうです。
Okay, it would be weird to not know Artemis, I would say.
ある日、姉妹が森で遊んでいたところ、一人の狩人がやってきました。その狩人は名をオリオンと言います。オリオンは美しい姉妹に一目惚れしてしまうのです。
Orihime continued her story of Pleiades, making full use of her melodramatic voice. It was like watching a real Greek tragedy. The area was slowly transformed into the world of the gods she spoke of. I wish we could have heard the whole story from her, to be honest. After parting ways with Orihime and the other members, we sat down to enjoy our pork buns. Unlike Hikari, Korona wasn't quite able to go right-headed. It's best if you pull it apart and let it cool down a bit. Amanogawa took the split half and put it underneath. That would stop it from dripping on the ground. Korona seemed a little on the edge, but Amanogawa was just smiling at her. Just like I'd expect of both them. Korona said as she finished and relaxed a bit.
さっきはかなり興奮してたみたいだけど、どう？メローペとしての自覚はできた？もちろん。コロナはメローペ、七姉妹の末っ子。
She was still as intense as always, even after eating. Orihime's story must have really awakened something within her. Looks like you had fun then. Orihime really has a way with words, so that's no surprise.
声も綺麗だよね。住んでてよく通るし。さやだって負けてないよ。いい声してるじゃん。
Okay, that's a good joke, Hikari.
姫ちゃんの方がすごいもん。
Although it had only been a few moments of conversation, it appeared that Korona was already a zealous Orihime follower. Same.
ひかりちゃんも聞いてたよね。さっきの姫ちゃんのお話。だったら姫ちゃんが一番だってわかるでしょ。全然比較にもなんないんだから。
I kind of agree with that.
いや、うちのさやが最高だって。
No.
私も白鳥さんにはかなわないと思うな。
And you are correct in that.
さや、もっと自信持って。私のさやは最高に可愛いんだから。
He's lower than the last place. It sounds like they're comparing two different things here, but Hikari just won't stop until everyone sees her favorite little Amanogawa as number one of everything. She's not.
姫ちゃんが一番だし、さやが一番だってば。
She's got everything over her. And suddenly it was like a fight between two predators. You know, I'm gonna say that Orihime's voice is so much better. That's what I would say, but the game doesn't allow me to.
どっちつかずの発言に喜んじゃダメだよ、さや。あきにの裏切り者。
I'm not! I'm with you! I'm siding with you! Who'd I betray? I was just being perfectly honest. No, you weren't! If you were, you would say Orihime. It would have been hard to pick one or the other. No, it wouldn't! It's an instant call for Orihime. Let's face it, that's the reality.
プレアデスの7人目、メローペか。ピカリンは気になる？まあね。ムツラ星の回は文字通りスバルの6連星を意味するから。
But meant that she, the 7th star, wouldn't be included. I wonder if Korona understood the significance behind it.
っていうか、またピカリンって呼んだな。
Hikari's carrot chop landed hard on Korona's head.
痛いよ。頭蓋骨が陥没する。うわ、もしかしていいとこ入っちゃった？ねえ、コロナ、大丈夫？なんてね。あんた、私を騙したの？ ったくもう心配したじゃない。大丈夫だよ、コロナは頑丈だから。ならもう一発お見舞いしても平気ね。
Would you stop trying to do that to her?
ひかりちゃん、その顔怖い怖いってば。
And Hikari was ready to lash out again with a flurry of chops.
あれ、チョップじゃない。そう何度もチョップしないわよ。
She was petting Korona on the head this time instead.
チョップよりもこっちの方がいいね。はいはい。
She continued petting her. Hikari seemed more like a big sister to her.
ひかりちゃん。何？呼んでみただけ。
It seemed like Korona was really enjoying herself. That was probably just what she'd been looking for when she joined us.
そうだ、君。ファーストライトだっけ？みんなで星を見るやつ。コロナも絶対参加するからね。アキ兄たちの作ったでっかいので星を見るんだから。
And so this episode comes to an end. Okay, we got a little bit of an insight into new scenes. It was nice. Again, like Orihime superiority here. Let's face it. I mean, honestly, I would choose any single character in the game over Amanagawa. Always. People who play this game are weird, honestly. I will repeat again. Why would you follow her route the most? Like, what is wrong with people playing those games? Amanagawa literally is worst girl. Anywho, with that message being said, let's end it right here, right now. We'll continue tomorrow, and we'll see where we can get with that. Consider liking the video. So, and oh yeah, subscribe if you're new. That's always helpful. And with that being said, hope you'll have a wonderful day. This is going on a Saturday, right? Yes. So, well, hope you have good, great rest of the weekend. Bye-bye!